All right. The Bouncer for PlayStation 2. Actually, hold on. It's
The Bouncer.
yeah. There you go. So, play the action movie. That's basically what this game is a playable movie in a way. So, so one thing I do remember about this game is my local game store at the time was doing a promotion where whenever you bought a new PS2, you had your choice of this game or Driving Emotion Type S. So my friend bought this game, and unfortunately, I got Driving Emotion, which it's so obvious. It's trying to copy Gran Turismo. It's like a blatant ripoff, which it's almost comical. Anyways, let's unbox this. Minty fresh case. There's the seal on top. Sometimes these seals can be a little tricky, but if you just be careful and take your time, then you should be able to cut right through them. Just like that. All right, here we go. So since this was an early PS2 game, it didn't have the memory card slot holder yet, and these are the original cases. So here's the game, and here is the manual. Let's put that off to the side. So what's interesting about the manual is it's similar to the European cover, where it's like more colorful. One thing I do not like about the US cover for this is, it looks like it's sun faded, or like the colors are very washed out, and it's just, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but just a small pet peeve of mine. Okay, here we go. And it is a color manual, which is always nice to see. So, getting started. Story mode, versus mode, survival mode, options, sound settings. So this game does support a multi-tap for 4 players, but unfortunately you can only do it in versus mode. You cannot. This game's only 1 player. For beat 'em up, that's very strange. It would have been awesome if you could have 4 players playing at the same time for like the main story mode. That would have been awesome. But I don't know, maybe it was a limitation or something. But so the controls. The controls in this game are kind of weird. They take some time getting used to. If you've played like Tobal number 1 or number 2, which is the same company who made this game, the controls feel very similar to that. So, story mode, which to be honest, it's nothing special. It's kind of forgettable. Screen layout. More story mode. So what is neat about this is after like every chapter or so, you have a choice to switch between 3 different characters. So the story kind of branches off like that, and which gives the game more replay value. That's kind of neat. Bouncer points. So because this is a Squaresoft game, they have to include some type of RPG elements into the game. So, after each battle, you're given experience points, and then you can exchange them to buy more moves and power-ups. Again, going back to versus mode, it's you can play 2 players or 4 players, but you can't do that in the main game for some reason. So since the characters in this game were designed by Tetsuya Nomura, the Sion looks like almost like a prototype of Sora from Kingdom Hearts. It's interesting. I find it kind of funny. Volt Kruger, who wears like this no cactar jacket, which is pretty awesome. We have Ko, which is probably like the least interesting of the 3, in my opinion. We have Dominique, who becomes the damsel in distress later on in the game. We have Mugetsu, who's like the leader of the special forces, and he's kind of weird and crazy. It's like, and you have Echidna, which has a history with one of the characters in the game. You find out later on. Chaldea, who is like part human, but then she can like turn into like a panther, which is kind of weird, but yeah, that's typical Squaresoft for you, I guess. And then Duragon, who's like your typical Sephiroth type of bad guy. Theme song credits. Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. I know a lot of people don't like this movie because it has very little, if anything, to do with Final Fantasy, but I thought it was okay. It's entertaining. It's watchable. It's not a bad movie. It's just, it's unfortunate that, yeah, it's not what everyone expected or wanted from a Final Fantasy movie. But they kind of fixed that problem with Advent Children, which came out a few years later. But yeah, I haven't seen this movie since it came out, but I don't know. I liked it. So. And then, of course, advertisement for the strategy guide, which for a beat 'em up, why? Why would you need a strategy guide? And then advertisement for action figures, which Squaresoft loved to do back then. But yeah, here's the credits. And then some of these early Squaresoft games came with like this registration card, which I always appreciate when games do that. It's pretty neat. There's no need to do that nowadays because of the internet, but you know, back in 2000, 2001, not everyone had the internet yet, so. Anyways, there you have it. The Bouncer for the PlayStation 2.